Timothée Chalamet, the enigmatic 29-year-old American-French actor whose brooding intensity and chameleon-like versatility have redefined modern leading men in Hollywood, is on the cusp of an extraordinary evolution. Once content to conquer the cinematic world with his soul-bearing performances, Chalamet has now ventured into uncharted territory, securing his very first Grammy nomination for Best Compilation Soundtrack for visual media tied to the Bob Dylan biopic A Complete Unknown. This accolade isn't just a footnote in his already illustrious resume, it's a seismic shift that propels him closer to the rarefied air of EGOT status. Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony, the ultimate quadruple crown of artistic achievement. At an age when many peers are still auditioning for breakthroughs, Chalamet's trajectory feels like a masterclass in ambition, blending raw talent with strategic reinvention to bridge the gap between acting accolades and musical reverence. The announcement of this nomination landed like a thunderbolt, igniting a frenzy among fans who have long marveled at his ability to inhabit characters with such visceral authenticity. Mere hours after the news broke, Chalamet turned to his official social media channels, where his updates are as sparse as they are poignant. In a move that distilled his entire ethos into 2 words, he reshared a celebratory post from Rolling Stone on his Instagram stories, overlaying it with the simple yet profound declaration, "Dream big." These words, scrawled in his distinctive handwriting against the backdrop of the nomination graphic, served as both a personal mantra and a rallying cry for aspiring artists everywhere. It's a reminder of the boundless imagination that has fueled his career from indie darlings to blockbuster spectacles, urging followers to envision possibilities beyond conventional boundaries. Competing in this category is no small feat, as Chalamet now finds himself pitted against a formidable lineup of soundtrack heavyweights. The nominees encompass the high-octane pulse of F1 the movie, the animated flair of K-pop Demon Hunters, the gothic allure of Sinners, and the magical whimsy of Wicked. Each project represents a sonic universe unto itself, where music doesn't merely accompany the visuals but amplifies their emotional core. For Chalamet, whose entry is rooted in the folk-rock legacy of Bob Dylan, this nomination underscores a deeper truth. His portrayal isn't confined to dialogue and dramatic arcs. It's woven into the fabric of the film's auditory heartbeat. The soundtrack, a meticulously curated tapestry of Dylan's era-defining anthems reinterpreted through contemporary lenses, features Chalamet lending his voice to 17 of its 23 tracks, a staggering majority that rendered him eligible under Grammy rules, which honor performers or producers dominating a project's musical content. This musical immersion stems directly from his transformative role in A Complete Unknown, a film that has already positioned Chalamet as a frontrunner for dramatic honors. Directed with a poet's eye for the 60s counterculture tumult, the movie chronicles Dylan's electric pivot from acoustic folk troubadour to rock provocateur, a metamorphosis mirrored in Chalamet's own performance. To prepare, he didn't just study Dylan's nasal timbre and restless spirit. He lived it, spending months in isolation with a guitar harmonica strapped to his chest, channeling the icon's revolutionary fire. Critics have raved about how his rendition of Like a Rolling Stone isn't mimicry but resurrection, raw, ragged, and revolutionary, capturing the song's defiant howl with a vulnerability that echoes Dylan's own guarded genius. This isn't Chalamet's first foray into song. Whispers of his onstage musical theater roots and impromptu setlist serenades during Dune press tours hinted at hidden depths, but A Complete Unknown unleashes them fully, transforming a biopic into a concert film disguised as drama. The ripple effects of this role have been profound, cascading across award circuits like a perfectly timed plot twist. Beyond the Grammys, Chalamet's Dylan has garnered Best Actor nominations at the Oscars, BAFTAs, Critics' Choice Awards, Golden Globes, and a triumphant win at the Screen Actors Guild Awards. Each nod builds on the last, validating his ability to evoke not just the man but the myth, Dylan's Nobel-winning enigma, his Nobel-ignoring audacity, his endless reinventions from protest poet to born-again crooner. At the SAG Awards, his acceptance speech, a heartfelt ode to Dylan's voice of a generation ethos, drew tears and thunderous applause, hinting at the emotional authenticity that permeates his work. It's this same depth that elevates the soundtrack, where his vocals on tracks like Blowin' in the Wind and The Times They Are A-Changin' aren't covers but confessions, infused with a modern melancholy that resonates in an era of its own upheavals.